Hello world! How to be human in the age of the machine. Let's get this started with ta-da! Oh, sorry, ta-da! Now, Hello World is an interesting story. Sorry, an interesting book. It's a book, alright, like these down here, but it's also a pretty great story as well too. It's read as a story. It's pretty interactive as well as. Really wish that it was an ebook so that I can actually click the YouTube links so that I can go in and watch the terrible music video or the terrible sounds, or at least look at the Uber crashing into a woman. Which I have no idea why I would want to look at, but of course I'm curious once someone puts on a link and I'm tired of typing out in the link itself like this. Okay, but instead of all that, and instead of complaining about the book, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why it's worth reading, and maybe why it's not also worth reading your time, and why it's better to read these books as well too. But hey, and it's not my decision. I'm gonna first go ahead and talk about why you should read Hello World. In fact, I was originally going to say what Hello World is about, but then again, I made a summary video, so that's takes care of that. So, Hello World. Hello World is an interesting book. It was written in 2019, so it was 5 years ago. It was written about 5 years ago, and actually it was written in 2018. So I would say 6 years ago. Next up, 7 years because 2025 is coming up. But hey, Hello World itself is just one of the best books that I've actually ever written. Hannah Fry did a great job at going ahead and writing down the impacts of the world and self-driving cars and the problems of them as well too. There's so much that we actually don't know about inside this world, and there's so much that we have to go ahead and still learn. Now, I was actually went ahead and taken aback about this. At the final parts of the book, there was this poll taken. There was this little music event that would happen. There was this woman going ahead onto the piano. She was going to play 3 pieces that sounded a lot like Bach. One of them was going to be AI generated. One of them was actual Bach music, but not very well known. And another would be created by a composer who was organizing the event. So this would happen. The composer's Bach music, the modern day composer's Bach music, was called AI. The AI music was called Original Bach, and the actual Bach was said to be the composers, the modern day composers. And when the audience was told that they basically got almost all of it wrong, they were all shocked and they literally hated it. So what was their response? They said, "How dare you go ahead? How dare AI can do things?" In fact, some people say that they actually find comfort in all this. They found discomfort in all this. They actually felt a bit troubled after hearing all this. But then they realized that AI can only imitate. It can't make its own, which sounded a way lot better than sounded a way more reassuring, but not too reassuring as well too. That's a little sad. So Hello World even discusses about other things that we basically don't know. It will make you laugh. It will also make you thoughtful. It's also very stylish according to the Times. And it's one of the best books written on data and algorithms. Also quoted. Also a quote I got from the Times about a review of the book. Hello World itself should go ahead and be a masterpiece. It should be a required reading for almost anyone who wants to go ahead and survive in this entire world. In fact, I'm pretty sure it should be university level reading as well too. We should go ahead and still understand the concepts of the world, and we should go ahead and still understand how we can survive in this world as well too. Hello World teaches us about the potential rise of machines. Now, of course, Chatbot GPT didn't exist when Hannah Fran wrote this, so there should probably be a second edition of Hello World by now, but unfortunately, there isn't. AI is here now. At least it's more generally widely public now. And right now, it's just one of the best things inside this entire world. Hello World tells us about things, and ChatGPT can do your homework. Although it's not very good at hiding ChatGPT did your homework. It's not very good at hiding that it did your homework, and you can do so much more things with it as well too. Hello World goes ahead and tells us things about how we should survive and how dangerous it is to overly rely on algorithms, but also how dangerous it is to override the algorithm's decision as well too. In this world where almost everything has an algorithm towards it, even libraries now have algorithms. It's dangerous to go ahead and overbelieve it, but also to override it too much. That's it's dangerous. And so why you shouldn't read this book? I only pretty much have one reason. You really don't care about machines, and you're one of those people who want to go ahead and live out off the grid on his own, like as if using Minecraft is an actual representation of real life when it actually isn't. So don't think just because you can build something inside that sandbox game doesn't mean that you can do that in real life. No. Well, I'm pretty sure you probably don't do that, but I'm pretty much thinking that that's pretty much the only reason why you wouldn't read Hello World, other than the fact that you probably don't like books. But I'm pretty sure you clicked on this book because clicked on this video because you wanted to watch Hello World. Then again, my average view rate is like 2 views per video, so that's sad. But then again, there's so much more that we can go ahead and learn from Hello World. So I actually encourage you to read Hello World because it will be especially worth your time, and it will make you think like you've never done before. It'll probably also make you want to have an algorithm inside your own house to sort your books, or at least do your homework, or cook, or do the chores. But we're so far away from that. Sure, ChatGPT went ahead and collaborated with another company to go ahead and create a robot that can at least do something. We give it a camera and some speakers, and we can use text to speech to at least speak something. Use the cameras as eyes, and use the speakers, or actually microphones, to go ahead and input the sound inside of themselves too. Also, it's still terrible at detecting smell, because smell is different from sound and sight. You can't just say, oh, tell a machine, oh, this is what cherries smell like, because unlike sight and sound, there's actually nothing to it. There's no photons, there's no atoms. Okay, sure, there's atoms, but there's no vibrations. It's just chemical responses, and those chemical responses are numerous that it's going to have trouble to go ahead and collect one of everything. Unless you have like every scientist in the world to go ahead and input its data into the machine, then you've got something, but it's gonna take a while. And that's a little review of Hello World. Hello World teaches us about the world. It teaches us about how we can go ahead and help the robot say hello to the world, as well as realizing the dangers and the potentials of over-relying or overriding too much of the time, most of the time, on the algorithm. Sometimes the algorithm's right, sometimes the algorithm's wrong. But if we only believe the algorithm, or if we always don't believe the algorithm, then number one, you should probably stop using the algorithm. You're addicted to it. And number two, why do you have an algorithm if you're always denying it? And that's it. That's a review of Hello World, How to Be Human in the Age of the Machine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys soon. And so, a little note to the algorithm who's going to go ahead and not put this onto different people's search results. I've been saying that the YouTube algorithm should go ahead and also give at least one video on recommendations of a low-level YouTuber who's going ahead and having the same topic as it. And if that person is great, well, great. But if that person is terrible, well, I'll never recommend that person again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you guys soon. And so until next time, Shanana, peace. Bye-bye. Da, 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 da.